sons and daughters of substance, not of straw, not numbers in society, not someone who people can push here and push there. We must look at ourselves in the mirror of reality and see what we have done with our lives and what we failed to do to our children. Iman is not words. So the Quran demands of me and you, Aminu Billah. When you and I are with Iman with Allah, we don't use words. We understand that Iman is to be sincere. And if we are sincere, we must be sincere to Aman, to Aman, and Amana. These are three salient features of Iman. That means there are responsibilities. If you say you're a mu'min, and I say I'm a mu'min, I have responsibilities. It's not what you normally see in society, where politicians make promises, make statements, go about and make slogans, and they do back away from it the moment they're in power. You see this all over the place. You see it in the Western world, you see it in Asia, you see it in the Arab world, you see it in Africa, all over the place. You and I will not change that if we don't change our whole attitude to life. Then the Quran presents to us the vacillating characteristics of kuffar. They are shaky. They are not straightforward people. They are not solid people. They are people who are all over the place. The Quran gives you and me in chapter 4 137. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا ثُمَّ كَفَرُوا. People who profess that they are cultivating Iman. They give you the impression, they give me the impression, we give one another the impression. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا ثُمَّ كَفَرُوا. We project one thing, but then we went and we uphold the opposite of it. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا ثُمَّ كَفَرُوا. Those who profess that they are here to uphold the principles of Iman. ثُمَّ كَفَرُوا ثُمَّ آمَنُوا. Then they went back again and said, no, we are going to be people of Iman. ثُمَّ كَفَرُوا. And they went again and said, no, we will uphold principles of kufr. It shows the vacillating characteristic of their life. There is no stability. There is no straightforwardness. If you deal with me, and I deal with you, that's what we must see. Stability. Steadfastness. I must see you as somebody I can trust. I must see you as somebody I can accept. Because it is dangerous if we say words to people, but behind their backs, we turn our backs on them. And that's a crucial hypocrisy and a characteristic of kuffar that's in the world today. I told you many times, we say all Muslims are brothers, right? You really believe that? I don't think you really do. Show me how you do. Where is your support for brotherhood? Is brotherhood a cheap word? A first characteristic of brotherhood, that you have common commitments. You have common responsibilities. You have common leverage and common restrictions. Where is the commitment of Muslims in Canada to one another? Tell me. In the Muslim countries that you know of, where is the commitment of Muslims who live in those countries to one another? If the Muslims who live in the Muslim countries had a commitment to one another, nobody would be a dictator. Nobody would have been an exploiter. Nobody would have been an oppressor. But what happened? When the lashes doesn't touch me, I don't feel it. Right? When the lashes doesn't reach me, I turn my back, I block my ears. Is this what the Prophet brought? You could not generate a revolution as he did unless we go back to the values that he instilled. He brought humanity to the surface to learn to value humanity like a brother and a sister from one mother, because we all came from a common origin. But we have lost that in many, many ways. And when we lose that human touch, they are tyrants like Fir'aun in society. that will always seize the opportunity and enslave us and put shackles around us. You don't see the physical chains. This is a modern world. Some parts of the world they still have. But generally speaking, they put mental chains around us. They prevent us from thinking. So my brothers and my sisters, it is important that we understand that kufr is a cancer. And you and I need to be aware of it. And this religious attitude that we need an imam or we need a somebody, and we don't have to be part of a learning process. Because you will agree with me, Jummah is very, very small. The time is very short. And we can only learn so much. Thus providing we really come and we listen. And we have time to sit down and discuss what we hear. But if you were to come to a class like this to become an engineer or a doctor, you wouldn't graduate. You would take your whole lifetime. So you and I have to look for ways and means to make sacrifices, to set priorities. And sacrifice means to endure difficulties. And that's why the popular saying, it's not from the Qur'an, go even to China if you want knowledge. Today you can see a reality. I know people who leave Canada and go into the islands in the Caribbean to study, who brave the hurricanes, who brave all things, they go there. I know people who have gone to the Middle East to study, who have gone to Asia to study. So whatever you and I want, if we really want it, if you study economics, you will know this word want, what it means. Want is not to say, I want. You must be willing to part with whatever you have to achieve that. I leave this with myself and you, reminding myself and you, let's don't fool ourselves. Let's wake up. Because if I fool myself, more than likely I will be opening the doors to fool my family and fool my children, to fool my friends and fool my relatives and fool the world in which I live. And let us remember that if you are genuine and I am genuine to the deen of Allah, Allah is not going to give victory to us. We have to generate that victory through the divine path, with divine values, with divine principles. And I conclude, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. There is no need for you to lose faith. Don't be light-hearted. Don't be dejected. Don't give up. وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. This is jumla shartiyya. This is a conditional sentence in the Arabic language. That you, if you can develop Iman, then you will be successful. We need to look at ourselves as individuals. We need to look at ourselves as families. We need to look at ourselves as jami'at and jama'at. We need to look at ourselves. We need to look at ourselves as organizations and masajids and whatnot. It's easy to go about and preach, oh, we are the best people, oh, kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas, and go about and say all these things, and people hardly understand what we're telling them because they want the easy way out. The fact is, where is our product? I leave this with you and myself, knowing very well that you appear, and I believe you are very wise and responsible people. I hope you listen to these things. Think about them. Consider them. Share them with your women folk and your family members. And move and change their life from being numbers in society. People who expect Allah to just make miracles for us and who fail to do what is required of them to do. Fastaghfirullah. Seek the ways that you and I can be protected by Allah's guidance from repeating the wrong that we have done before. Fastaghfiruhu إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.